Hey guys, it's Leviatros. Welcome to Living Off One More Dollar Each Day. Day $4. Today I get $4 to spend on food for the day. And to start off, last night was pretty rough. After eating the chicken, I thought I'd be satiated for a while and got hungry again pretty quickly. Falling asleep last night was not easy. It took quite a while and didn't get a lot of rest. I woke up around 8 a.m. and had a pretty bad headache and tried falling asleep again. Got a little bit of sleep, but not a whole lot. It's currently 11 a.m., so I'm going to go get groceries now and hopefully be able to take care of this hunger because I'm quite hungry, almost to the point that I feel a little bit nauseous. I think the issue is that eating just chicken without any breading or anything like that, I think it just being like pure protein made it where it wasn't really filling. I think I need more carbs today, and hopefully that'll take care of my hunger longer than just the plain chicken did yesterday. All right, I'm back from Aldi and I'm feeling a bit more optimistic about today. I was able to get a decent amount of food, did a little more variety than I did yesterday. To start off, I was looking around and they had quite a few options, and now I can actually afford a decent amount of things, at least a individual item. But I noticed that they had these boxes of macaroni and cheese for 58 cents, which sounds like a great deal. The only problem is that they need butter and milk, and at my current budget, it's like I can buy butter or milk or macaroni and cheese, but not all of them together. But I can buy this box macaroni and cheese, which just requires you to boil the macaroni and then add the pouch of pre-made cheese to the macaroni. So for $1.50, I feel like this is a pretty good amount of food and is closer to an actual like full meal than most of my other meals have been lately. So I feel like that's a pretty good start. I still had 250 available to me to spend, and so I looked around and I eventually found these items on clearance in the frozen section. It is not the chicken from yesterday again. We'll see how they are, but I found these sausage and gravy biscuit bites, and it's a pretty good amount of food. It was on clearance for about like half the price it is normally. So I feel like it's a good value. I'm hoping that these are at least tolerable because it's a little bit of a gamble, but if they're decent, then I think it'll be pretty good. And I still had about $1 left over, so I was looking around trying to find something that would like fit within that. And I was considering buying this like log of chorizo. It seemed like it could add to macaroni and cheese and add a bit more variety or a little more spice, give it something more unique than just kind of eating these like same similar bland foods each day. But with the chorizo log, I was a little uncertain about how to cook it or if I'd mess it up. And with my taste palette, I felt like it might not be up to my taste. So to play it safe, I went ahead and got a familiar face, the 89-cent hot dogs. So I feel like for a full day, being able to have macaroni and cheese with hot dogs in it and have this entire bag of sausage and gravy biscuit bites, I think it'll be a pretty good day for food. At least not leaving me as hungry as I have been the last few days. Now, before I went to the store, I checked how many comments were on the day one episode saying if I can use change from the previous days or not. And there was one vote, but I am allowed to carry over change from the previous days. So thank you, Kat, for making this a little bit easier on me. And it gave me more options to when I was shopping around. That if something's like just a little bit over the price, I have at least 50 cents in change from the previous days. So it was nice having that insurance if I get close to the price and it might go a little bit over budget. For today, it turned out to not be necessary because these three items combined in total was $3.97. That's right, baby. I got a whopping 3 cents in change left over. I'm gonna add it to the pile of change, and in the later days, if there's something I really want that's a little bit splurging, I can go ahead and cover that with the change if I want to. So it'll be nice to have that as an option. For now, I'm gonna microwave some of these biscuit bites because I'm very hungry right now. I was walking around Aldi and I was kind of like at times like almost dry heaving. I think just because I'm so hungry. And so it's definitely not been pleasant. Really looking forward to eating some food. But I'll eat these, like microwave these to eat them now. And as I'm eating those, boil some water for the hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. And hopefully it'll be enough food that I can also have dinner and not go to bed hungry. So I'm gonna get cooking on that and I'll let you know how it turns out. I'm back with the biscuit bites. They really meant bites in the name because these are a lot smaller than I was expecting them to be. Now, I was looking at the instructions and it said, let's sit for 2 minutes. I'm like, it sounds like you're talking to someone who's eaten more than just a bag of orange chicken yesterday. So let's go ahead, dig in. Okay. These actually are like quite hot, but okay. Bon appetit, down the hatch. It's fine. It does feel like it's very chewy. I feel like I'm mostly just eating dough with like a little bit of sauce in the middle and a little bit of the sausage. It's not amazing, but I feel like it's something. And for the amount of food, I feel like this is going to be pretty filling at least. So I think it's fine in that regard. I wouldn't get them again, but for now, I feel like I don't necessarily regret my choice. I think to help you imagine what it tastes like eating these, even though it says biscuit and they're supposed to be like a bit more chewy, it basically feels like eating a Totino's pizza roll, but with sausage and gravy in the center instead of pizza. So I think it's fine. I feel like it's a good amount of food for the price that I paid for it, and so for this challenge, that's a win in my book. I ate the 6 biscuits and gravy bites, and while making the macaroni and cheese, got hungry pretty quickly, so had 6 more of them. And the bag itself has about 40 bites in it total, which is pretty good value in terms of quantity. Quality, not so much, but it's enough to get by at least. I did finish the macaroni and cheese though, and while the biscuits and gravy bites seem a little bit questionable in terms of quality, of how good it's actually going to be with a product like that, I feel like macaroni and cheese is pretty safe. Besides, hear that? That's what good macaroni and cheese sounds like. But let's see how it actually is. Yeah. This is like a cheaper brand than like Kraft macaroni and cheese. But in terms of flavor, I really don't have any complaints. The cheese, there's a good amount of sauce in it. And the flavor of the sauce, it's pretty strong. It's not like it's a very mild, like watered down sauce, like flavor. It tastes pretty bold. So this is really good. I don't know if it's because I've been like basically starving the last few days, but I'm really satisfied with this. I will say though, as I was making the macaroni and cheese, I forgot to boil the hot dogs at the same time as it. But I think I'm gonna boil all 8 hot dogs, dice them up, and just mix it into this entire batch. And I feel like 8 hot dogs in this pot is going to be a bit dense or a bit heavy. But with what I've been eating the last few days, a dense meal sounds really appetizing right now. So I added the hot dogs to the macaroni and cheese. I added 4. I was like, this feels like quite a bit. So I decided to compromise and I added 6 of the hot dogs to the macaroni and cheese. I have 2 hot dogs in reserve as a backup for whenever I want to snack on that. So I feel like that's a decent compromise. But this is the macaroni and cheese with the. My arm's getting tired. With the hot dogs in it. So I know the macaroni and cheese on itself, pretty good. The hot dogs on itself, fine. Let's see how they are together. I think overall adding the hot dogs was a bit of a lateral move. I think the cheese sauce definitely improves the hot dogs on their own, but I think I would kind of prefer to just eat plain macaroni and cheese rather than taking bites that some shells and then some hot dog that tastes a bit artificial, a bit bland. But I think it was a fine choice. And I have 2 hot dogs in reserve, so whenever I finish this, I still have a little more food as a backup, so I think this was fine. But moving forward, I think I would just rather have more macaroni and cheese by itself. And probably not spend my budget on the hot dogs if I'm just only going to add them to the mac and cheese. I just got home from hanging out with family, and it was kind of tough because it was celebrating my mom's birthday, and I felt bad that I wasn't eating. I didn't want to explain the whole series, especially on day 4 when it's like, yeah, I'm eating $4 worth of food today. And they had pizza, they had cronuts, like the croissant donuts, and another family member brought like different flavored syrups to mix with soda, and I was like, okay, I can't try that. So didn't eat anything. I only drank like a bottle of water while I was there. But still nice to see family and stuff like that. But I'm definitely feeling the disappointment of having to follow these requirements for the series rather than just being able to eat whatever I want. But overall, otherwise I feel fine, like pretty good about especially today. I feel like was definitely a like change of tone than the previous days because I ate the hot dog, macaroni and cheese. I was able to actually eat like as much as I wanted to, rather than eating until I'm like I should save some for later today. And I kind of ate like pretty much as I care to for lunch, and I still have this much left over. And I feel like this on its own would be like a full meal. So I think today I'm gonna like I was a bit hungry while at my like family's house, but yeah, I think otherwise I'm not really going to be hungry today. And I have about 30 of those biscuit and gravy bites left over. And I feel like the biscuit and gravy bites are going to be more of a backup because this is like pretty good. Biscuit and gravy bites, it's fine, it's edible. So I think I may actually have some leftover food for the first time so far in the series. And it'll probably be the biscuit and gravy bites, but if I need like a backup resource for the next few days, then I at least will have that if I don't finish them today. But yeah, definitely feeling a lot more optimistic today. I feel like this is the point where it's turning the corner from being just accepting that I'm going to be pretty hungry throughout the day to just eating meals that are more just like budget options. So I think I'm going to eat this now. Probably most of it. I don't think necessarily all of it. Have that for dinner. And then if I get hungry later at night, I have some left over. Or I can go to the biscuit and gravy bites. But today feels a lot more plausible than the last few days I've been, especially day one, eating just a banana and a pack of ramen for the entire day. I did finish the rest of the macaroni and cheese with hot dogs, and that was it for the rest of the night. So in summary, I spent $3.97 to buy a box of shells and cheese, an 8-pack of hot dogs, and a bag of biscuits and gravy bites. I ate all of the shells and cheese, 6 of the hot dogs, and 12 of the biscuit and gravy bites, which actually leaves me with some leftovers for the first time in the series. That being 2 hot dogs and about 30 of the biscuit and gravy bites. I think the series is definitely going to start getting easier moving forward, and so looking forward to what comes next. Make sure to subscribe if you want to follow along with the journey as I post videos daily. But otherwise, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time.